Caterina here. Welcome to my kitchen. Today's a special day. I love making homemade fettuccine. I only grew up with homemade pasta. When I was a young girl, I never remember my mother ever buying it. Her and my dad would always make fresh pasta. It's so easy. And then after we make the beautiful pasta, fettuccine, we are going to make fettuccine with scallops and shrimp in a cream sauce. Now let's get started. Okay, so this is 00 flour. You can get 00 flour anywhere. All the stores carry it now, there's no problem. Okay, so there's 2 cups of flour. Okay, here's 12 egg yolks. And I'm going to put a dash of salt. I know usually they don't put salt. I know in Tuscany they don't put salt, but that's a funny story and I'm going to tell you why. Because they didn't want to pay the people in Naples for their salt to add to their pasta, so they didn't put any salt. But we're in Canada and I have lots of salt. Okay, I'm adding my 12 egg yolks to my 00 flour and now I'm going to give it a good mix. Okay, so when you see your dough gather like this, it's all together, that means that your dough is ready. Now we can take it out. Take it out. Oh, it smells so nice. Now a little bit of flour on your bench and just knead it a little bit. Oh, now it needs to rest. I'm going to put it on in some plastic wrap. Okay, it's all nicely wrapped up. I'm going to let it rest outside of the fridge for about 40 minutes. Okay, my pasta dough has rested and it's nice and soft, beautiful. Just going to remove the plastic. Okay, so I have this beautiful attachment that goes onto my mixer, and the first attachment is I'm going to make the pasta flat. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can roll it flat with a rolling pin, but you'll have to do it very, very thinly. And then I'll show you how to cut it if you don't have the other attachment for the fettuccine. Okay, so here's the dough. I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces. And I'm going to make them little rectangles so that when they go into the pasta maker, there we are, it's much easier. Okay, put a little bit of flour, just a little bit. And you're going to start with number 1. There we are. I'm going to fold it like this. Straight line to take the bubbles away and to even it out as well. Okay, one more time at level 1. It's just beautiful. Okay, we're going to do it on one more time. The higher the number, the thinner the pasta. So we're going to go to level 2 now, but you have to go in increments. Okay, here we go on level 2. I love doing this. Okay, now we're going to go to level 3. Okay, now we're at level 4. You notice that the pasta becomes longer and longer. The thinner you want the pasta, the longer it's going to grow. Okay, now we're at level 5. Now we really like our pasta at level 6. So I'm going to stop at the next level. But if you like it thinner, then by all means you can keep going up to 7 or 8. Okay, now we're at level 6 and this is where I'm going to stop because for my family, this is the thickness that we like for the fettuccine. Okay, so I'm going to cut this beautiful pasta 14 inches. So basically into 3s. And say hello to my Prada. My Prada's never more than 2 feet away from me. She's just a beautiful dog. Okay, so I have 2 more pieces. I'm going to do what you just saw 2 more times, and I'm going to lie my pasta flat there. Okay, my pasta is ready, and now I'm going to put it through where I'm going to be making the fettuccine. Look how easy that was. We're going to start making our fettuccine. I have this little fettuccine maker. I put flour on both sides so that it won't stick. I'm at the lowest setting, and off we go. Okay. Because we're going to be using this today, I'm hanging it. However, if I wanted to store it for the next day or the day after, I would roll it into little nests. I'll show you. Okay, so here's my second. Oh my God, look how beautiful. So I'm going to catch it. Now let's say I needed it for tomorrow or the next day. I would roll it around my hand like this, and I would put it on parchment paper, make a little nest, and it'll stay for tomorrow. You just have to try this once and you will be addicted. There's nothing like homemade pasta. If you don't have one of these pasta machines, you can get the little manual ones. They're so inexpensive. I've seen them for like $40, $45. But if you're just starting out and you're not sure you're going to want to continue, I'm going to show you how to do it by hand. Okay, so I've rolled it out really thin, and then I'm going to divide in 3. And then I'm going to divide again, and I'm going to use a very sharp knife, and I'm making fettuccine. And when you roll them out, you'll have fettuccine. So my fettuccine is ready. It's drying. I'm going to just leave it like this until I'm ready for it. And let's get started with the cream sauce. Okay, so now for the sauce. We have here 1.5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. The butter is melting nicely. I'm going to add 1 sweet onion, 3 garlic cloves minced. Give it a good mix. Let this saute for about 5 minutes. In goes 1.5 cups of crushed tomatoes. Smells like heavenly. 3/4 cups of white wine. Okay, now we're going to put 2 tablespoons of dried basil. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, tablespoon of dried thyme. I love the smell of thyme. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of chili pepper. Turn up the heat and bring to a boil. Okay, now that it's come to a boil, we're going to reduce the heat and we're going to let it simmer for 20 minutes. So I put my stove on low simmer, and now I'm going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. Okay, so just give it a good mix. In about 2 minutes, it's going to thicken. My salted water for the pasta is boiling. So it's ready for my fettuccine. Look how beautiful. It'll only take about 3 minutes. Trust me, once you start with homemade pasta, you will never go back to the regular store-bought. I have these beautiful scallops that I picked up this morning at the fishmonger. So that is 1/2 pound of scallops that I'm going to add to the sauce. Okay, and here I have about 1/4 cup of tiger shrimps. I'm going to add these now too. Because this is a fish recipe, I like to salt after the fish is cooked. So I'm just going to add about 2 teaspoons of salt. My pasta is almost ready. I'm just going to take a little bit of pasta water, and I'm going to add it to my sauce. Okay, so after 3 minutes, I drained the pasta and I put a little bit of sauce just so that it doesn't stick, and now I'm going to plate it. I can't wait to go sit down and eat. This is so delicious. And I hope you will try it and you will make it for your family or for yourself. It's Katerina, from my home to yours.